But long who win, I can take the cold weather.
We'll sit out here in the dark and do this with a flashlight. We'll see you next week. Thanks very much for being with us. So long, everybody. Scots lost to the Wilmer Hutchins Eagles 3-0 this past weekend. However, following a coin toss, the Scots will still get into the playoffs anyway. Now, Coach, let's set all of this up. First of all, after the ball game, I know that you were terribly disappointed, as all the team and the fans were, about losing the football game. But what a roller coaster ride it must have been for you emotionally, having first gone through a loss and then coming out a winner in the coin flip.
Well, we had several chances involving the coin toss. We had about 5 chances to be in the playoffs. We could have won the football game that would have put us in the playoffs. We could have tied the game that would have put us in the playoffs. We could have lost the game and still have a chance to be in the playoffs. 3 people involving a flip, which would have been the 4th time, and we lost that one. And when it comes to the 5th flip, or the 5th choice, we won that one. So we really had 5 chances to make it.
Of course, I'm sure when all 3 of you coaches went into that coin toss situation, each one of you was thinking, I've got 2 out of 3 chances to be a winner in this thing. 66, 67%. Those aren't bad odds when you're in a game of chance like that. Those of you who are not aware of the way the rules are set up, if there is a 3-way tie for the district championship, since there are 2 playoff positions available from each district, the only way to determine it when there's a 3-way tie is to have a coin flip. 2 people get in the playoffs and 1 has to stay home. Gosh, North Mesquite has to be feeling really bad. In fact, in reading the newspapers the last few days, they are saying that North Mesquite is certainly the best of the football teams here in the area that did not get into the playoffs.
I don't think there's any question about that. I think that's probably right. And, of course, North Mesquite possibly could have been the best team in our district. But this is the way that we do our playoff systems in our district, and I like it a lot better than some of the ways that the other people do it. They go on positive points, some of the other districts do. This encourages you to beat someone real bad, and if you beat them real bad, then that is positive points, which would be in your favor, providing it came down to a coin toss of 3 or more people. I don't like that because I don't think you take the kids in consideration. That way, you've had 4 quarters to decide it. If you can't decide at 4 quarters, then why not flip?
Well, and the other thing, too, is if you went with that other type system you were just talking about, as you said, it encourages you to run up a score on somebody, and I really don't think that's a very good idea.
No, I don't like it, not at all.
So, as a result of the coin flip, the Scots are in the playoffs, and we're going to be amplifying on that much later in the show tonight, but of course you will be taking on the Roosevelt Mustangs at Sprague Field. Now, you did lose a coin flip, but if you were going to lose one, at least you won the correct one that got you into the playoffs. You had a coin toss to determine where the playoff site would be against Roosevelt, and you lost that one.
Yeah, that's true.
So you'll be at Sprague Field in Dallas this Friday night. You have never had your football team at Sprague before, have you?
No, the only place that we have played in the Dallas system since I've been here is in the Cotton Bowl. We did that, I believe, it's back in 1976. And other than that, we have been either Memorial Garland, Memorial Mesquite, or we've been in Texas State.
Okay, now before we take a look at the highlights of the 3-0 loss to Wilmer Hutchins, let's set that ball game up a little bit. One thing is for certain here, Coach, we can forevermore forget about comparative scores of common opponents and all that on trying to figure out who might be better than somebody else, because the Scots beat North Mesquite, by a couple of touchdowns. North Mesquite beat the living daylights out of Wilmer Hutchins by about 35 points. So if you looked at that on paper, you went into the Wilmer Hutchins game about 60 points better than they were, but it didn't work out that way.
No, it really didn't. Of course, neither team could score. After looking at the film, we probably had about 7, 8, 9 chances of scoring, and we just couldn't do it.
It turned out to be, of course, with a 3-0 ball game, just simply a defensive battle, and I don't think anybody really thought that it would be anywhere near that low-scoring a ball game.
No, I thought going into the game that it would be a very high-scoring game because of Wilmer Hutchins putting the ball in the air, and I felt we could move the ball on the ground very effectively. And with a few passes that we had designed, I thought we could definitely complete those. We had them open. Mike McCullough was open 6 or 7 times behind the Wilmer Hutchins kids, but we just couldn't complete them.
Your team was so prepared and so fired up emotionally for the North Mesquite ball game about 3 weeks ago. They did not seem to have quite the spark for this Wilmer Hutchins ball game that they had for the Stallions.
And I don't think we did either. Of course, I don't think we were near as intense. And of course, in a big ball game, you must be intense if you have any plans on winning. And of course, we went out there and just sort of, in a lot of instances, offensively, we just self-destructed. Broke down mentally by wrong blocking assignments. We pitched the ball on the ground. We fumbled the ball. We made some mistakes that we don't normally do, and we just haven't been doing that. And as a result, we've been winning, and we did those things. It just did not work out well.
Of course, the other thing here, too, is we mentioned a moment ago, the fact that Wilmer Hutchins had lost so miserably to North Mesquite earlier would obviously cause your players to perhaps be a little overconfident.
Oh, I think that's true. Every time we go in a football game, our kids think they're going to win. And I think we underestimated them somewhat a little bit, even I did. I thought we could score quite a few points. And, man, we had a fight for our life.
Okay, we'll take a look at the first half highlights when we come back with this week's Frank Bevers Show as the shadows settle in here over Highlander Stadium. And we'll be back in just a moment.
Real estate isn't the only valuable thing in the Park Cities. We at Abbio and Adlita understand this and believe it. When you need real estate help or advice, remember Abbio and Adlita, because we know what's important. The Highland Park Scots under Coach Frank Bevers reflect one thing: excellence. And when you look for automotive excellence, you think Mercedes-Benz. And when you look for the Dallas home of excellence in automotive engineering, you think Auto House. Auto House at 14185 Dallas Parkway is only 12 minutes from the Park Cities. Just drive north on the tollway to Dallas Parkway and the home of Mercedes-Benz. Scots football and a winning tradition. Auto House and Mercedes-Benz. Some things just go together.
No matter what the occasion, you'll find what you're looking for at Henry's.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Coach, we're going to take a look at the first quarter highlights in a moment, but first, comment or two about Radford Taylor, the head coach at Wilmer Hutchins. We talked about the emotional roller coaster you were on the other night. He certainly was on one this last summer. First, it looked like he was out of a job at Wilmer Hutchins. There was a faction of people who wanted him to leave, and they wanted another coach. And then literally the week before school started, he was right back in his position, and now he's been able to take his team into the playoffs.
Tell you what, you know, they've had a lot of distractions, and I'm surprised with as many distractions they've had along the way that they were able to do the things that they've done this fall. And that's definitely got to be a compliment to him and his staff.
Saw Wilmer Hutchins play a couple of times this year, and one thing I will say about them, they've got a pretty strong fan following for a community that has been split in their support of Coach Taylor. I saw them play South Oak Cliff at the beginning of the year, and they filled their side of the stadium over at Sprague for that one, and they had a pretty good crowd the other night.
Had a very nice crowd. They were very involved in the game as our side was, and it was a real exciting ball game because there's a lot of big things that happen in the game that create a lot of excitement.
Okay, 3-0 contest, and there are going to be a lot of critical plays throughout the videotape that you'll see now. Let's pick it up at the start of the ball game with the opening kickoff. And the kickoff is received by Highland Park. Landon Williams bringing it back, and you'll watch as I believe the ball goes free right there. Mike Schmidt recovers, though.
Lord, we were so fortunate, so lucky that we did not turn the ball on the opening kickoff. That could have been very disastrous to us. Sure
could have been. From the 27-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Scots. And on first down, quarterback John Stonewart with the delayed handoff gives the ball to James Noel, gain of 3.
We'd open the ball game kind of come over on this side of the line that we're attacking right now, and John Auble's the first play.
Lynn Waters on the second carry brings it out for a gain of 6. It's 3rd down and 1. Here's the pitch back to James, number 44, and he gets a first down for you, Coach.
A very nice gain. It's a beautiful block by Lynn Waters, the fullback, enabling the back to turn the corner.
1st and 10 from the 48, and all gains 4 into Wilmer Hutchins territory. Everything looks pretty status quo at this point. You're moving well.
That's true. We're trying to get against them on the defensive line and just run the creases inside right now. I'm trying to get them pinched so we can take the ball outside.
John Stonework pitches the ball back to James Null, but here is a big defensive play for Wilmer Hutchins as James is dropped for a loss of 8, and that was also a 4th and 11.
That's true. We had a broken blocking assignment, and when you do that, bad things normally happen.
However, what a kick by Wayne Clements, 52 yards. So the ball comes out to the 20, first down. Quentin Williams, number 33, is swarmed under for a loss of 3.
Our defense, so we open ball game trying to put a lot of pressure on them to see if we can't get to the quarterback.
2nd down, 13. You go with a play to Joe White. He can get only 2 yards. It will be 3rd down and 11. Milton Cockrell, number 5, starting at quarterback for the Eagles. He is almost sacked there. He scrambles out for a gain of 9, but it will still be 4th down.
The kids are very excited on defense. They think they can get to him, and we force them to punt very early.
And it's not a real good punt, about 25 yards distance. So Highland Park will get good field position on this run back down near the 40-yard line.
Now we have the ball in great field position. We have it on the plus side of 50. It's our responsibility offensively to get the points on the board when we get to this area.
Waters on 1st down. So you were down inside the Wilmer Hutchins 40, 2nd down 7 after the gain of 3. John Stonework goes to the air, got the protection, throws for Mike McCullough.
Mike McCullough's open. All we had to do is lay the ball up over, and then we'd have a nice game.
James Knoll for a loss of 1 on 3rd down. That brings up 4th and 8. Wilmer Hutchins has gotten tough again on defense from the 38-yard line. Clements will boot. Remember, he kicked a 52-yarder before. He squibs it down the near side and does his job again.
It's a beautiful job. Kicks the ball inside the 10 now. They've got a long way to go for a touchdown.
From the 8-yard line, Williams, number 33, picks up 7. George C. makes the tackle. George had a good ball game, didn't he?
George always does. He plays so hard. He's so smart. He's got great vision. He just makes things happen.
Cockrell lost 7 on that play, so it brings up 3rd down and 10. They're back at the 8-yard line. Cockrell back to throw, swings it out to Williams. And look out here. He goes for 17 yards and a first down.
I really don't know whether you say that's bad tackling or just good football run. He's an excellent back, and he'll make you look bad oftentimes.
On the next play, Williams is dropped for a loss of 1. It's 2nd down 11. Cockrell back to throw. He eludes the pass rush, almost had him for a big sack, and he completes the pass for a gain of 7. Cockrell, good scrambling quarterback. And as you'll see later, they've got 2 good quarterbacks. The other one came into play in the second half. Cockrell scrambles for 11 here. It's another first down from the 42-yard line. Wilmer Hutchins back to throw again. Did you anticipate them to throw this much?
Yes, we were in a football game thinking they'd throw roughly 40 times, and they're really raining football right now.
First down and 20 after a 10-yard holding penalty against Wilmer Hutchins. Gain of 9 here for Joe White, number 22.
Going into the game, I didn't think they could successfully and consistently run the football as they did early.
White slips down after a gain of 2. 3rd and 9, Cockrell. And he throws, short hops it off the artificial turf. It's 4th down and 9 from the 43-yard line. And again, a line drive kick. And a fair catch taken, I believe, by Williams. So that sets up 1st and 10 at the 25. Waning moments of the first quarter. James Knoll makes a shoestring tackle and gains 13.
James does a beautiful job running, picks up some nice blocks along the way, and makes a real nice run.
And a 5-yard face mask call against the Eagles. Moves the ball to the 43. John Stonework throws it out to Kennington on a screen pass, but it gains only 4 yards.
We didn't hold our blocks quite long enough and enable the lineman to get back after recovering and seeing that it was a screen pass.
And on the last play of the first period, Lynn Waters carries for a gain of 2 yards. How quickly the quarter seems to roll by when it's a big game like this, and both teams are playing really tough defense.
Sometimes you think it may go by pretty quickly, but you're on the sideline, it seems like it's all night.
Your thoughts at the end of the first quarter of play? I don't think you were probably upset necessarily at the way your team was performing at that point.
No, we weren't upset, but I'd already realized at this point that it was going to be a defensive battle, that we were having a hard time moving the football offensively. Number 30, one of their defensive tackles, we just could not handle him. He whipped us nearly every time. And so we realized that we were in for a dogfight, that it would probably be a low-scoring contest. So the thing we were trying to do is just hang on the football, keep them from getting on the board quickly, and hopefully someone would make a mistake that we could capitalize later on.
Okay, we will take a look at what happens in the second quarter of action when we come back with more of this week's Frank Bevers Show right after this. Stay with us.
Who's he calling a dead skin? What does Skip Bayless say about his favorite Washington Redskin? Marvelous, Manly works magic with his mouth. But basically, Dexter's not so manly. He's a 6'4", 260-pound sack of sugar. Say, Skippy, you ever been popped by a 260-pound sack of sugar?
Skip Bayless doesn't candy coat his column. That's why morning and afternoon, Dallas sports fans ask, what does the Herald say?
Ewing Buick Volvo, the North Dallas location for Buick, featuring the largest selection in Dallas, from the sporty Skyhawk to the luxurious Electra Park Avenue. And Ewing also sells Volvo, GLs, DLs, and the top-of-the-line 760. Volvo recognized as the safest import in America, and Ewing not only sells but services. Buick and Volvo. Ewing has them at one of the most convenient locations to the Park Cities, north on the tollway to Dallas Parkway, and the high-rise dealership, Ewing Buick Volvo.
Scoreless first quarter here at Highlander Stadium. Wilmer Hutchins against Highland Park. Let's take a look at the second period action now. Scots have the ball, 3rd and 4th to 49. Noel gets outside for 11 yards, Coach.
This is a nice gain. We're moving the ball effectively. We're just breaking down at critical points, and with errors, it's hard to recover once you do that.
John Stellenwerk, as you see, slips down for loss of 2 on this play. So it is now 2nd down and 12. Stellenwerk throws, intended for Mike McCullough. This one overthrown. 3rd down, 12 at the 42. But here comes a big play right here. John gets outside, and watch him go, 42 yards, but it will be wiped out by a penalty.
I think on this play right here, you see Len Waters, number 24. He makes a nice block. He's got his head in front. The kid slips and turns to the side.
Oh.
The official sees him turn, and then I don't think he saw the thing completely like he's supposed to in calling a clip.
And it looked to me like, in watching that a moment ago, the official's vantage point was not the best angle from which to try to pick that up either. So it's wiped out by a penalty. And then John is sacked for a loss of 18.
And that really hurts, because then we get out of scoring territory then.
So now you're all the way back at the Highland Park 36-yard line. Clements punts the ball. Another good boot of 49 yards, and not much on the return for the Eagles.
I'll tell you what, our punting team did a superb job in not letting them get a return on the kicking situation.
1st and 10 from the 25. Cockrell's pass incomplete. So on 2nd down, excuse me, they pick up 9 yards. Trip Woods makes the tackle. 3rd down and 1 from the 34. And the Eagles get the 1st and 10.
Tell you what, those backs are pretty good. Our kids are playing real hard. It's a real interesting game at this point in time.
Now we got a turnover coming up here. 1st and 10 from the 44. The ball is loose, and the Scots have it.
We've got the football now. We have got to get on the board without making any errors.
Fumble caused by Behan and recovered by Giddens. And there is the loose football. Here's a good opportunity for you down at the 35-yard line.
Now we just need to make something happen.
1st and 10 from the 35. John running that option to the left. He is swarmed under for a loss of 2 yards. Got to give the Eagles some credit, Coach, as they strung the plays out down the line of scrimmage very well.
They really did. They're playing real hard. They've got a good game plan, and they're sticking with it.
After a gain of 7 by Waters, go back to Waters again for +2. That will set up 4th and 3 from the 28. Wayne Clements will try a field goal. He has punted very well and kicked the long ones. He's trying, what, a 45-yard field goal here. And let's see.
It's plenty long enough, just a little bit wide.
I'll tell you what, it looked close enough that you had to look for the official to see whether he was going to call it good or not. So,
wow. There's a nice hit by Brian Owen, number 85, our defensive end.
That was on the 1st down carry by Cockrell. Now it's 2nd down. White cuts back inside. He gains 7 yards, and it will be 3rd down and 10. Cockrell throws complete for a gain of 11. That is a big 1st down for Wilmer Hutchins.
Certainly is. And here they come on the draw, and that kid there is a good football player.
That is Williams, and Williams gains 40 yards on the play. And just like that, the Eagles are out of a big hole, and they are in scoring position. 1st and 10 from the Scots 18. White sweeps right, but there's nothing there this time.
I'll tell you what, our old kids are bucking up real hard and trying to keep them off the board.
2nd down 10 from the 18. Williams for a gain of only 1. Wood makes the tackle. It's 3rd down and 9. And they'll go with a reverse to White. But, boy, did you ever have this one diagnosed. What a hit.
Boy, that was a hard hit by Tripp Wood, our Will linebacker.
It's 4th down and 8. The Eagles go for the field goal. And the kick is up, and it is good.
That's a big surprise to me. This is the first time ever that I can recall playing them since 1976 that Wilmer Hutchins was ever able to kick a field goal.
To kick a field goal, that's right. Jerry Johnson booted it. 8-play, 72-yard drive, 3-0 the score. And now the Scots on the attack. Knoll on the carry. And now John Stollerworth keeps for +3.
Number 30 is causing us a lot of trouble right here, so we're trying to do a few things just to slow him down and so that we can do something to our offensive left.
Waters gained just enough yardage to get you close for a 4th down and inches, and you gambled and went for it and made it.
You know, we realize it's going to be close, and you're going to have to take a few chances if you're going to win a football game.
So
wide open, nice grab.
That is Mike McCullough on the grab from John Stollerworth for a gain of 30 yards. So the gamble on 4th down and inches seems to have gotten you going. 1st and 10 from the 27. John throws, this time incomplete for Mike.
Mike is open. We just need to lay the ball in there.
Now let's see what happens here. Disaster strikes. And Stollerworth from the 27 as it fumbles, and the Eagles have come up with another turnover.
I'll tell you what, those are 2 critical turnovers that we've had at this point.
Now 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line. Incomplete pass.
Matt Johnson, number 11, breaks it up.
2nd down 10 from the 34. Cockrell will keep on the option play. He is a talented runner. He gains 18 yards.
Steve Davis, number 47, makes the tackle.
Makes it 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line. Cockrell will keep it again, but you looked like you knew what they were going to run there.
George Seed, Brian Owen, several of our kids in making the tackle.
2nd down 13 from the 49. Cockrell back to throw. He puts it up and up for grabs, so to speak, intercepted by Brady Giddens.
Well, Brady played a real outstanding ball game, probably one of his better games he's played this year.
And let's have another look at this on the replay. And that is a nice interception. Normally you expect to see guys with numbers like 11 and 20 on their jerseys picking them off like that, Coach. 1st and 10 from the 36. Stollerworth throws, and he's looking for McCullough again, overthrown. 2nd down 10 from the 36. Let's go back to the air.
John's throwing a little bit over, a little bit long, and I'm hoping that he'll adjust a little bit. We don't. Here we turn the ball again. This is a sideline pass. Normally, we don't pitch the ball back on the sideline pass.
And Wilmer Hutchins was coming hard. Let's watch it on the replay. This results in a loss of 26 yards as John, right there, pitches it. Well, Knoll could see that the defender was right in his face as the ball was coming to him, so the ball popped loose, and the scramble is on. And fortunately, the Scots get to it, or it really would have been disastrous at that point. Nevertheless, it will bring up a 4th down play, and you're back at the 10-yard line. Wayne Clements has got to do it again, and he comes out of there with a boomer again, Coach. 47 yards.
Great kick by Wayne. A lot of pressure was on him at this point in time.
Sure was. 1st and 10 from the 45. Williams makes it loose for 15 yards. That wraps up play in the first half, and Wilmer Hutchins on top by a score of 3-0. But this is one of those ball games where both coaches, when they're in the locker room at halftime, can point to some things that went wrong that could have resulted in either side being ahead by a couple of touchdowns.
Oh, that's true. You know, if we hadn't made errors, I don't think the game would have been close. We were down there twice first half, really in scoring situation, and we just made errors to turn the football. At half, we were trying to get to the point where we were not making errors, that we'd hang on the ball and not create a big fumble or turnover, and we could definitely be back in the ball game.
Okay, again, the score 3-0 Wilmer Hutchins. We'll come back with more of this week's Frank Bevers Show in just a moment.
No matter what the occasion, you'll find what you're looking for at Henry's.
This fall, keep up with all the sports news coming from the Highland Park school system. Scott football, volleyball, swimming, soccer, McCulloch Middle School sports. All are detailed each week in the Park Cities News by exclusive sports reporter Brenda Lamance. Brenda brings out not only the facts, stats, and results, but can sometimes offer a different view. With action photos, full game wrap-up, interviews, and previews of upcoming events, you'll always be in the know. Sports with Brenda Lamance, only in the Park Cities News. There is no comparison.
Anyone who has ever sold their house and had to move knows that it's no fun. It requires planning, plenty of hard work, and most of all, lots of your valuable time. The last thing that you need are last-minute worries about closing, where, when, or any of the thousands of little things that could be the last straw. That's one of the reasons why you should choose a professional realtor like Abio and Adlita. We at Abio and Adlita understand all the problems associated with a move. Why? We just moved to 5933 Berkshire, still in Preston Center, still close by, still ready to help you with your next real estate move. Abio and Adlita.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Coach, we've talked about this before, but it takes more than the football team to put on the show on Friday nights. The band is there, the drill team, the cheerleaders, and they work real hard, too, throughout not only the season, but they're on a regular schedule every week, just like the football players are.
They certainly do. Of course, they add all the excitement. They put all the electricity in the air, create a whole bunch of enthusiasm with a lot of kids, and they are very important to us, and they're very important to our school.
You know, I'm sure it's not any different today than it was when I was playing football in high school. It's now, I was about to say a few years ago, many years ago, as a matter of fact, how quickly time flies, but I know that it was really a big deal when they got down to the final determination of who the girls were going to be on the cheerleading squad. And of course, with the big city schools these days, there are guys and girls on the cheerleading squad, but that gets to be a very important decision-making process.
It really is. Of course, it's a big deal then, in mine, your day. I'm a little bit older than what you are, but it's still,
not much.
Still, it's a big deal to kids today. This is a way that they add to our school and get to do their thing, just like a football player does his.
Okay, we mentioned on the show last week that we would have a special feature for you coming up next week or so on the cheerleaders under the direction of Molly Long, so we have that for you tonight.
Well, this group of cheerleaders, the enthusiasm comes naturally. They have been so spirited the whole season, and it's just building up as we get towards the end of the season and with the possibility of going into the playoffs. And they're really going strong, and their pep rally today was full of a lot of enthusiasm. We put them on every Friday morning, and we spend the week prior to the pep rally working on cheers and pyramids and skits and just putting the whole thing together. And it usually comes together Thursday night about 8:30, sometimes Friday morning, but it goes.
Tonight we're gonna make it happen. Tonight we'll put all other things aside. Give in this time and show me some affection. We're going for those pleasures in the night.
Well, this is my 4th year in the math department at Highland Park, and I've been cheerleader sponsor. This is my 2nd year, and I just selected my 3rd squad to organize and manage for the next year. Yes, I really do enjoy it. It's a lot of fun.
I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. And I know, I want you.
Well, I think the Highland Bells have helped our situation in Highland Park in that more girls are able to participate in these extracurricular activities. And some of my cheerleaders have, gone to be Highland Bells that were on the JV squad, but On my next squad, I have 2 girls from the Highland Bells that are cheerleaders for me. So we sort of swap back and forth, and it works real well. We want to get the kids involved, all the girls involved that we can.
We shouldn't even think about tomorrow. Sweet memories will last a long, long time. We'll have a good time, baby, don't you worry. And if we're still playing around, boy, that's fine. Let's get excited. Oh, we just can't hide it. No, no, no. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. I know, I want to.
We go down to San Marcos, Southwest Texas State University for camp in August, and we spend 4 days working on chants, cheers, pyramids, and tumbling. And that's the time that kids really come together as a squad, because I get them off, and all we do is cheer all day and all night. And then we have a little fun at night too. But they really come together as a group, and they begin to work together as a team. And from then on, we're rolling for the whole season. The enthusiasm builds from day one, and they do different chants and cheers each day, and the girls learn some dances. And the competitions we have in the evenings are fun for them too. They have a chance to go against the other squads to see how much they've learned and how they perform in a competition. And this group this year went into the elite group, which I think a lot of credit goes to Edwin Santiago, this coach I hired to work with him last spring. He helped them a lot, and I hope to use him again this next year with our new squad that we just selected.
I'm so excited, I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it. Oh yeah, I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. No. I know, I want to. I'm so excited.
This group of cheerleaders has turned the school spirit around in a positive direction. And we've got more students cheering in this cheering section and coming to the games than in the past. And you can feel it around the school. It's really kind of electric.
I'm so excited, I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it. Oh yeah, I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. No. I know, I want to. I'm so excited.
And we certainly hope you enjoyed that special feature on the Highland Park cheerleaders. Coach, as you were in the locker room at halftime discussing strategy, I guess you really didn't have to tell Randy Emery, your defensive coordinator, a whole lot, because his bunch were doing the job. But offensively, as you looked at some adjustments that you would try to make for the second half, what were you looking at?
Of course, we were going to try to do the same thing that we had come out earlier trying to do, and we were having success doing it, and we were just making mistakes along the way. And our defense, they were playing very exciting, playing very hard. We were getting football in situations that it was possible for you to score. We just were not capitalizing on it.
Also, even though after losing the Irving MacArthur ball game in the opener, you had won 8 straight, then going into this contest, you had been in quite a few games this year where the scores were very close at halftime.
Oh, that's going to always be the case when you're playing someone that's pretty good. It's never a runaway if the other football team is as good as what Wilmer Hutchins is. Definitely it's going to be close, because they think they can win just like you think you can, and a lot of times it'll boil down to simply breaks.
Okay, we'll take a look at the second half highlights when we come back with more of this week's Frank Bevers Show, so please stay tuned.
Ewing Buick Volvo, the North Dallas location for Buick, featuring the largest selection in Dallas, from the sporty Skyhawk to the luxurious Electra Park Avenue. And Ewing also sells Volvo, GLs, DLs, and the top-of-the-line 760. Volvo recognized as the safest import in America, and Ewing not only sells but services. Buick and Volvo. Ewing has them at one of the most convenient locations to the Park Cities, north on the tollway to Dallas Parkway, and the high-rise dealership, Ewing Buick Volvo.
3-0 ball game. Wilmer Hutchins leading the Scots as we roll the third quarter highlights now. And we'll start with the kickoff with Wilmer Hutchins doing the booting and Steve Davis on the returning end, coach, at about the 15-yard line.
And Steve gets a nice return, returns it out to about, what is that, about the 35, 40-yard line?
38-yard line, a good return. 1st and 10, and on the first down play, Lynn Waters breaks it through for a gain of 7 yards. You start off pretty good here with the running game.
Yeah, we got our kids pumped back up again, thinking we control number 30 a little bit, and we do, and John turns up for a nice gain.
Gain of 9, makes it first down at the Wilmer Hutchins 46-yard line. Let's go back to Lynn Waters again. Number 24 picks up 3 yards, and that makes it 2nd and 7 at the 43. Waters again for 3 yards, but on 3rd down and 4 from the 40-yard line. Let's watch what happens here. Comes another big turnover in the ball game. The pitch back to James Knoll. Ball is loose, and there are nothing but white shirts out there, and the Eagles have the football.
This is the thing that you're always concerned with in a game, close game, that once you get something going, that you not make an error and change the positive momentum.
They have made a change of quarterback. Gary Barnett, number 9, is now in the ball game. Stopped by Nash on that play. 3rd and 7 at the 48. Barnett throws it out to Cockrell, who has switched from quarterback over to running back.
And not many people have two good quarterbacks in the ball game like Wilmer Hutchins does, but both of them can move the ball effectively.
1st and 10 from the 45-yard line, Barnett. And I'll watch Barnett go for a gain of 26 yards. 1st and 10 down at the 19, Barnett. And a little surprise here, he was going to the air, but he throws it, and it is out to number 86, and it is caught.
Tell you what, now they're putting a lot of pressure on us right now, and our kids are playing real hard. They're playing very aggressive. Tackle made by our two ends, Smith and Owen.
However, Wilmer Hutchins has been stymied a bit here by a holding call that pushed him back upfield, and what a hit on that play.
Was it ever, and I'm not sure if that was a completed pass. Number 31, Brandon Williams making the tackle.
So they're still down at the 32-yard line. Barnett scrambling, and he is sacked.
This is Fred Behan in for a quarterback sack.
Big play there by number 57. So it is 4th down and 13 from the 39, and they will throw the ball downfield. It is incomplete.
And I'm glad that we didn't catch it because
I
we
am
could have
too.
been backed up a little bit farther.
So the Scots take over at the 39-yard line, and James Knoll picks up 8.
Here's a nice outside veer. John pulls the ball. We turn up for a nice gain.
And it is Waters gaining 2 up the middle. 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line. John Stollenwerk is hit and thrown back for a loss of 3 yards.
I think we misread this one here. We should have given to the fullback.
2nd down and 13 from the 46-yard line. John keeps, and it's another loss of 2. Eagles defense is fired up.
Yeah, they really are, and we misread the ball again.
3rd down and 15. John's pass intended for Mike McCullough, just overthrown. 4th down and 15 from the 44. This time, Wayne's punt goes 35 yards down to the Wilmer Hutchins 21.
And they got a long way to go for touchdowns. A lot of things can happen before you get there.
So from the 21-yard line, the Eagles take over. It's Barnett, number 9, still at quarterback. He started the second half at the QB position. Barnett throws out to Cockrell, incomplete.
I believe this is a kid caught the ball on the other side, got stuck real hard, and he's probably still remembering that.
I think that's true. 2nd down and 10, and this will be Cockrell. Gains 5 yards. Nash and Williams make the tackle. 3rd down, 5 from the 26. Barnett will go to the air again, throws it out on the near side. Steve Davis, I think, comes up with a good tackle here.
Sure, that's a nice open field tackle. The kid's very shifty, he's very quick, and he's hard to get in.
Eagles still picked up enough for the 1st down, though. Barnett throws it out on the near side. Loss of 2 on this play. 2nd down and 12 from the 34. They'll go to Joe White. Oh, boy, what a hit Barnett took right when he released the pass, but they still completed it. It's a gain of 16.
That was a great catch there.
First and 10 from the 50-yard line. Cockrell out on the near side. They're getting some big chunks of yardage here, gain of 18.
We were trying to dole out the wide receiver, and he dumps it to the man inside.
Barnett throws again, and it is Cockrell for a gain of 29 yards, and it's looking like Wilmer Hutchins will score. They've got first and goal at the 3. Cockrell, incomplete, or is it intercepted? Who's got the football?
That is a big question right there.
Oh, boy, let's watch it on the replay, and you tell me. They are not giving up the official right on top of the play there that does not give the interception. Well, in all honesty, Coach, the official just did not have a real good position to see what was happening.
No, it really didn't. Looking at the deal right here, it could have been very easily been a touchdown, and we take the ball away from him after the touchdown. It could have been incomplete pass.
That's true. Could have gone either way, really. So Cockrell tries to go around the other side for no gain.
I'll tell you what, our defense is playing real hard. They're playing very aggressive. They're not about to let Wilmer Hutchins get in the end zone.
And Williams fumbles the football on the next play on 3rd down and goal, and the Scots come out of there with it.
I believe this is Tom Nash making the recovery.
And, well, if there was any question about the defense being fired up, you saw the enthusiasm they had when they came off the field. 1st and 10 from the 6. Waters gains a couple of yards, and that ends the 3rd period of play. But watching the Scots defense down there around the goal line, gee whiz, that really has to be inspiring.
It really was. We're so proud of our kids. You know, it's awfully easy for an opponent to get on your goal line and you kind of give in, ease up a little bit. Our kids did, and they got real tough, played very aggressive. They were very determined they were not going to get in the end zone.
Oh, gee, and when you're playing a team like Wilmer Hutchins that, well, as you saw, they moved the ball down the field, mixed it up with passing and running, and when they got down near the goal line, and your defense, as you said, it was just pretty evident there. They had said, we are not going to let them score, and they didn't.
And that's what football is all about right there.
All right, we'll come back and look at the 4th quarter highlights. There's still a lot of big action yet to come, and it's still a 3-0 ball game. We'll come back right after this. 3 yards going over the right side. That makes it a 3rd down and 4 coming up from the 12-yard line. And you really need a 1st down here, and you get it.
We sure do. And I'll tell you what, they're very tough right here. They're very determined. They're not going to give in.
1st and 10 now from the 16-yard line. Waters picks up 5 difficult yards. 2nd down and 5 from the 21. John Stoneworth picks up 5 yards. And, hey, let's pitch it back to Waters and get 10 more.
Tell you what, we probably got by with a forward lateral there.
1st and 10 from the 31. Waters, tough sledding up the middle, but he picks up 2. 2nd down and 8 from the 33. It's about time to go back to the rear again, Coach.
It is. We're a little bit behind on count, throwing off balance just a little bit. He is wide open, and they make a great defensive play and knock the ball down.
So this makes it 3rd down and 8 from the 33-yard line. Pitch back to Knoll. He picks up 7 yards. The ball is fumbled.
Out of bounds, and it helps us a little bit on yardage.
4th down and 1. You go for it, and you get it. As Waters picks up 2 yards. 1st and 10 from the 42. Waters again for a gain of 3. Got a pretty good sustained drive going here.
Yeah, we are. We're doing real well. We just need to hang in and hang on football. If we'd had a little better field position, I think we would have done a little bit better.
On the 2nd down and 7 play, Knoll picked up 3. 3rd down and 4. Pitch back Knoll, left side, and the Eagles are coming after you. Loss of 3 on the play. Good pursuit by Wilmer Hutchins. It's 4th and 7. Clements has to punt. Well, he boomed a 52-yarder earlier in the ball game. 55 yards this time, and look at that. Oh, my. What a nervous moment.
I'll tell you what, this could have very well easily been the difference in the ball game.
That could have been the ball game right there. In fact, I really thought that you were going to come out of there with it. I can't believe that the Eagles came up with the ball back there. 1st down at 10 at the down at the goal line.
Now, I'm sure they're concerned with this point that they are going to get a safety on them, and I'm sure they don't want that to happen.
They sure don't. Not in with only a 3-point lead. Williams, the intended receiver, pass incomplete. Cockrell will pick up 13 yards here. What a pressure first down for Wilmer Hutchins.
Is it ever?
1st and 10 now from a 14-yard line. Barnett to Cockrell, and there comes another big gain. 1st and 10 out at the 33-yard line. Let's go back to Cockrell again for gain of 5. Schmidt makes the tackle. It's 2nd down and 5. And the other thing that they're doing here is using up the clock.
They really are. You know, the pressure's beginning to get on now that we've got to do something if we're going to win a football game pretty quickly.
That was a pressure pass completed by Barnett for a gain of 13 yards. Here's a sack and a loss of 6, but only 2.5 minutes left to play in the ball game.
Well, defense still playing hard, playing very aggressive, and they're playing as good as they can play.
Now, we're getting down to last gasp here, but the defense has come up with a big play and held the Eagles, so it's 4th down and 9. They punt the ball. It's Steve Davis down there. Going to do his best to come back with a good return. The Eagles are downfield quickly, though, and it's a return of only 4 yards. That sets you up at the 14-yard line with not a whole lot of time left.
No, really don't. And, of course, our kids are so quick that we're having a hard time getting any distance between the receiver and the defender so that John can lay the ball in. 1st down pass intended for Mike McCulloch was incomplete, but on 2nd down, it's back to Mike again. Good effort after catching the ball, gain of 14 yards and a 1st down at the 28. Beautiful pass and catch. We just need to do more of these.
Let's go to the other side, intended for Clements, just out of his reach. 2nd down and 10 at the 28. John will throw again. You've got 2 on every down now. Nice ball down the middle. Oh, wow.
Beautiful pass. They come with a big hit on defense and knock the ball out. Shakes Mike and Cull up just a little.
That's just to give the Eagles credit there for a real good hit defensively, or you would have had a long gain out of that. Then the pass is intended out on the near side. Incomplete. And only about a minute left in the football game at this point, Coach.
Yeah, it really is. It's beginning to realize that, you know, that at this point on the field, it would be very difficult to move the ball all the way down the field.
So after 4 incomplete passes, turns the ball over to Wilmer Hutchins. Anthony Robinson gains 14 yards. Another Eagles 1st down, and that is just about going to do it. 1st and 10 from the 14. Cockrell picks up 6, and time runs out on the clock. There is the final seconds, and the Wilmer Hutchins Eagles have pulled off an upset by a score of 3-0 here at Highlander Stadium. They win the football game. I guess, well, when you say upset, at least in the opinion of a lot of people, it was an upset, but I'm sure over at Wilmer Hutchins, they didn't look at it that way, did they?
I'm sure they didn't. I think if we played them again, that we still could win. Of course, I'm sure they would think the same way. If they played us again, they could win it, could beat us again. But it was a good football game. The kids played real clean, real hard. It's always an honor to go against someone that's good, test you, see how good you are, how good they are, and it's a very good football game.
You know, it was a strange football game, though, wasn't it? With a score only 3-0. Again, going back to the beginning of the show tonight, having watched the ball game, it's still hard to believe that it still wound up only 3-0.
Yeah, that's true. Of course, I think the thing that was a big deciding factor there are the turnovers that we had,
That's right.
Particularly early when we were in field position that we could have gotten on the board. And I think that's probably the big deciding factor.
Okay, we'll come back and look ahead to what is on up his eligibility. At least that's good news.
That is very good news because he's a good football player.
Now let's turn our attention to the business at hand this weekend, as the Scots will go over to Sprague Field in Dallas, over in the Oak Cliff area, to take on the Roosevelt Mustangs. Coach, what do you know about that football team?
Roosevelt, they're 6-3-1 as far as their record. They've only had 48 points scored on them in the last 10 games, so their defense is very stingy. Will be real comparable to the style of play that Wilmer Hutchins played last week, where they'll have a lot of people close to the line of scrimmage. They've only had 7 points scored on them in the last 5 games, so they are very good on defense. And they've got some big people, big play people on offense. The people that we'll have to be concerned with on defense will be Richmond Webb, number 79. He weighs 254 pounds, and he will be playing in front of our offensive tackle. They've got a good middle linebacker in Derek Smith, number 43, covers a lot of ground. They've got another good tackle, number 74, Kevin Mitchell. He weighs 235 pounds. They've got a good, strong safety in Thomas Franklin, number 81. So on defense, they're very quick, very aggressive, and they've got a lot of beef up front. Offensively, they've got a good football team. They've got two real fine running backs. Kenneth Walker, number 30, will have a lot of trouble with it. He runs inside exceptionally well, and he'll probably be the best back that we'll go against this year. Also, they have another running back in Ronnie Johnson, number 33, that will alternate with Walker. And of course, they kind of have a celebrity on their ball club in Roy Martin, number 1. He'll be a wide receiver. He's got great speed. He has Olympic speed. He'll play several positions when he is lined up in the backfield, and he'll run the sweeps, trying to turn the corner on the wide plays. Got an excellent quarterback in Clyde Person. Number 10, weighs about 180 pounds, a very smooth operator.
They are very similar to Wilmer Hutchins, aren't they? Offensively and defensively.
Very similar. Their style of play, very much alike.
In fact, they played Roosevelt and Wilmer Hutchins, if I'm not mistaken, played in the season opener this year for both teams. And didn't Roosevelt win that ball game something like 7-3? It was a game somewhat like your game against Wilmer the other night.
That is correct.
And the robot, Roy Martin, ran a kickoff back for a touchdown for the Roosevelt TD. Roy Martin, as Coach mentioned a moment ago, his name might ring a bell. You've perhaps read about him in the local newspapers, especially last summer. He tried out for the United States Olympic team and barely missed making the U.S. Olympic squad in the 200-meter dash. He was 4th. They only took 3 guys on the squad, and he was about this far behind the 3rd-place finisher in the 200-meter dash. So he has tremendous speed, but there's been some controversy about really whether, with all of that track ability, whether he should have even gone out for football or not. Football, admittedly, has not been his nearly the equal sport for him that track and field has. But when you've got him back there, when you've got a guy back like that back there running back kickoffs and punts, and you can put him out there and send him on a fly pattern or a post pattern every once in a while, it can keep some defenses honest, though, can't it?
Can it ever? And I would agree. I think he should be a straight track player. It would take a lot of pressure off us. He is a big threat because he has so much quickness, so much speed. And you were talking about the Olympic deal. I think he was the alternate on some of the relays and the sprints.
Yeah, I saw them in one ball game earlier this year. They brought him in a 2-point conversion situation, and everybody on the field, I think, knew that they were probably going to try to get the ball to Roy Martin. They lined him up in a wingback position, pitched the ball back to him, and he just ran for the pylon in the corner. And everybody on the other side knew what he was trying to do, but they just absolutely could not keep up with him. And he got right to the post there in the corner of the end zone, took one little step inside, and then dashed out. But he does have incredible speed.
He sure does. Of course, he runs east and west, meaning he runs to the sideline. If he ever decides to head down the field, he could be a super player.
Now, in terms of attitude, as your squad gets ready for the ball game this week, they had to be very down after losing the contest the other night, but this is, well, it's new life, so to speak.
I don't think they're down. I think it kind of shocked them that Wilmer Hutchins was able to beat us. And in fact, after the meeting that night, came back, had a note on my window, thanks, Coach, for a second chance. And the kids kind of feel this way, that we did get a second chance, and hopefully we'll lose something about it.
Okay, well, we will be back with you this next week, and we'll keep our fingers crossed that we'll be back with highlights of a Scots victory over Roosevelt. The sun, as you can see, has left us, and I feel like we're in the Rocky Mountains this afternoon. It's really gotten cold when the sun disappeared, hasn't it?
It certainly has.
We'll be back with you the same time next week, and until then, so long, everybody.